Hello, my friends. Happy Friday. Welcome to episode 181 of Why Did I Buy This? Okay, I started this series over 4 years ago now. And the reason I started it was to help my crafters find ways to use the products that they have in their collections. But this is also a great series for those of you who are wondering what you need to sort of complement your collection and have some fun crafting. My name is Lindsay Mann. I am from Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. I've been a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator 21 years. I love crafting and I love sharing what I'm working on with you. As you're tuning in, please say hello and let me know where you're tuning in from. Of course, if you're watching the replay, you can let us know that too. I love when you comment along. It helps me know I'm not talking to myself. And it's also fun to get to craft with you, not at you. Hello, Sharon. Happy Friday. It's beautiful here in Edmonton. We actually had one of the hottest days in the history of Edmonton. This is such a weird fact. I was listening to the radio and it was almost plus 40 Celsius the other day. And in the winter, we had a minus 40 Celsius. So we're now a city that has an 80 degrees Celsius spread. And they commented that we are a very hardy bunch, which is true, we are. We have some extreme weather sometimes in Edmonton. It gets very hot and very cold. So that's wild. But yeah, we are doing all right. My little Remy, my French bulldog, got neutered yesterday, so he's wearing his little donut head, but he's doing really, really well. He went through surgery great, and he's such a trooper. I'm so proud of him because that can be hard, going to the vet and the surgery, but he went through it really, really well. He's such a good little guy. So if you guys feel like sending a little warm thought to my French bulldog, I'd appreciate it. As he had this is probably too much information. He had an undescended testicle. So it wasn't just like a regular neuter, like he had to have a couple of incisions. And so he's kind of gone through it, but he's, if you looked at him right now, you would never know, except for the donut. You would never know that he went through surgery yesterday. He's sleeping a lot. And I have him contained because he really shouldn't be running around for about 2 weeks. So anyway, we're sticking close to home. I'll be crafting. Hello, Elaine. Hello, Doris. Nice to see you. Speaking of my French bulldog, did you guys notice I have a new piece of art in my collection? For Mother's Day this year, my family got me a portrait of Remy, and it was done by the same artist that did London's portrait. I was so excited to get it. It just arrived the other day because, of course, it's a really amazing local artist who does it, and so these things take time. But I just love his little sport jacket that he's wearing, and she captured his likeness so beautifully. So yeah, I just think that that's so fun. I stand here all day, most days. So I love that my two puppies get to stare back at me. So Elaine, aren't they beautiful? I know. I love them so much. What are you guys working on in your studio? I've been asking you guys questions in my Facebook group this week about Christmas, which is so funny to think about Christmas at this time of year. But I do find that Christmas crafting, it's nice to start it now. Because once we get into the fall and back into our routines, kids are back in school, you're maybe have some holiday time in the summer, it's good to kind of get those things off your list. And so it's now that I like to start my Christmas card making. That way, when November comes, all I have to do is write in them and pop them in the mail. So having said that, I do have a Christmas card class on Tuesday, July 16th from 6 to 9. We're making 4 very beautiful Christmas cards. And the class fee is $30 or free with a $35 order. So if you're local or you'd like to drive, just give me a holler. I start prepping for the class this weekend. So if you can let me know sooner than later, that's better. What else do we have going on? Oh, this month, it's July. Yes. This month we have, Gail gets all her Christmas cards done by October. Yeah, super smart. This month we have something called bonus days from Stampin' Up. So what it is when you reach a $60 order, which is kind of our marker. Like if you think of Celebration, that's $60 in Canada. That's where our perks kick in. you will get a 10% coupon back to shop with in August. So $60, you get $6 back, and you can accumulate as many as you want, and you can use them all together or separate, but you have to use them in August. So now's a great time to place an order. I'm going to show you a few things that you can order right now, and then be able to get some of the newer things with your $6 coupon. Okay, what else do I need to tell you? I'm going to switch you around so you can see my hands, and then I have a couple more things I'll share with you when I do that, because you can see it then. Okay, sorry, awkward transition. All right, so let me just clip you in and make sure we've got my stand. Okay, beautiful. All right, so for those of you who've placed an order this year, I did send one of these in the mail to you. So if you get this in the mail, that's why. So here is my Christmas in July class. You can see it's on Tuesday, July 16th, 6 to 9 p.m. I also have a class in August 27th, 6 to 9 p.m. And we're doing a fun night of bingo with our in colors. You'll get some treats to take home, as well as get to make some cards with our new in colors from our annual catalog, and you'll see what those look like there. I really love this collection of in colors. I think it's the brights that I'm enjoying. And then finally, again, if you're local, I'm having my retired craft supply sale on Saturday, July 27th from 1 to 4 p.m. And I will put the link in the comments so that you can RSVP, because when you RSVP, you get entered into a draw for a $35 shopping spree for new products. So you'll want to let me know that you're coming. So you guys, 21 years of crafting. I fill my entire garage with my craft supplies that have retired. So it's not just like there's a couple of things. There's like a couple thousand things. So you'll definitely want to come check it out. Even if you don't think you know anything, come by and say hi, because it's lonely if nobody comes. So please come say hi. I always love to get to visit with people. All right, let's get started with today's project. So I decided to do a technique style for our Why Did I Buy This Today? And I'm doing that with one of my favorite technique products, and that's ink refills. So ink refills are intended for adding color to your ink pads. So for example, if I bring in my Pretty in Pink, I open that up, and I bring in my Pretty in Pink ink refill, and you'll notice this one I haven't done it yet, but I use just a small hole punch, and I punch cardstock. Oh, I need to do this one too, so that you can see the colors when they're stored in my storage area. So that's just a little tip. So here's how you ink refill. This is kind of basic knowledge if you've been around before, but just in case. Everybody does it a little bit different. I like to just go ahead and sprinkle a few dots. And then I bring in the palette knives, and I just take that and I squish it along the ink pad like that, just like so. And then you can clean off your palette knife and your ink pad is ready to go. So super, super simple to add a little bit of life back. Okay, I'm just gonna clean this off. Now, let me show you some techniques that we can do. So obviously that's what they're meant for, but let's go ahead and do some more fun stuff with them. So I'm going to bring in a 2 3/8 inch circle that I've cut out of the Fluid 100 watercolor paper. I'm bringing in a stamp from the Pocket Thoughts. Now this is an underrated stamp set in my opinion. I really love the dies that go with it. I use them a ton. I love that there's two-step stamping involved with these. Oh, I just got that that's the diamond part of the ring. I just never really looked at it. You guys are laughing at me right now. That's okay. This also goes into there, Lindsay. Cool. It gives you some greetings, which is kind of fun. It gives you the arrow so that with the pocket, you can indicate that there's a pull tab to it. It's just really cute. So I'm going to bring in the cupcake, and I'm going to use Stays On ink. So Stays On is a solvent-based ink. This is really good for watercoloring because it doesn't interact with water. And you can see that it, you thought it was the sprinkles for the cupcake. Oh, well, you could do that too, right? Are they separate stamps? Let's just take a look. Oh, it is separate. That could totally be the sprinkles, but it also could be that it's like the ring is shining. Do you see what I mean, Gail? Wow, there's so many options. Okay, Stays On comes with it, doesn't come with. You can purchase a refill, and you likely will need to. So if you buy a Stays On ink pad, you'll want to get this as well, because the solvent ink doesn't interact with air the same way that our watercolor ink does. So I tend to want to ink refill this bad boy every time. So I'm just gonna go ahead and add a bit of ink there, like so. And also, FYI, this lid is important. It says on it, do not throw away, but or do not discard, but sometimes it's hard to see. I don't know, can you read that there? Some people put a glue dot in the lid, and then that just keeps it with it. I like it to be tight to my foam pad, so I don't do that so much. But I'm going to go ahead and ink up my cupcake. Just make sure it's all inky, and then stamp that in the middle of the Fluid 100 paper. I love Stays On ink because it's very black. It's like a true black. Memento is like a very dark gray. And then you can purchase a Stays On all-purpose cleaner, and that helps to get the ink off of there. Some people don't recommend using Stays On with photopolymer, but I've told you guys this before. I'm like a rule breaker. So I just go ahead and use it, and then I'm just quick to clean it off before it settles in. So there we go. Okay, I'm gonna put our little lid on and close that up. All right, so now I'm gonna bring in my water painter. So our water painters come with a set of 3. There's a wide tip, a middle tip, and then a fine tip. So this is the fine tip. And so I'm going to just bring in a corner of my glass mat, and I'll add Lemon Lolly and Flirty Flamingo and Pretty in Pink. So I've got 3 little palettes there. So I'm going to start with the lightest color, which is Lemon Lolly, and we're going to add that. I'm just going to make it as diluted as I can, and I'm just going to add that all over my cupcake. So I'm just kind of like working within the philosophy of Stampin' blends, where you're laying down a blending color. So nothing crazy, just adding. I wanted kind of a bright yellowy background. Now the key to watercoloring is you want to go ahead and dry in between each color. Otherwise it's going to mix the colors together, and in this situation that's not the intended effect that I want. So I'm going to make sure that the yellow is all dry, and then we're going to bring in now the Pretty in Pink. So again, I'm just making a little puddle. You can see over there that I am mixing in the water, and I do that by squeezing the chamber of the brush. So now I'm going to start on the outside of the cupcake, and I'm just going to kind of drag it toward the center. The thing about watercoloring too is it doesn't need to be perfect. I love that. In fact, it looks better if you don't take the same philosophies as coloring. Oops, I grabbed my yellow. If you don't take the same philosophies as coloring with markers, so kind of leaving some spots like that. Okay, so once again, we're going to dry it in between. I'm going to use, this comes with this this little, it's like a pressure tweezer. It comes with our embossing toolkit. So again, I'm just gonna speed up the drying with my heat tool. And now I'm gonna bring in my Flirty Flamingo. So once again, I'm making a puddle over here. And now you'll see I'm gonna go ahead and add in the darker pink. How many of you enjoy watercoloring? Have you tried it? Maybe you haven't tried it yet. I'm teaching a watercolor class on Thursday next week at the Muttart Conservatory in Edmonton. And I'm really excited about that class. My understanding is it's sold out. So for those of you who got in, congrats. Looking forward to seeing you. Okay, so I'm just gonna bring in a little bit here, like that. Okay, so once again, we're gonna dry in between. This is a step you kind of have to take the time to do when it comes to watercoloring. Okay, I'm gonna do one more layer with the pink. So this is what I mean, like when you dry in between, you can add more shadow layers, which is super cool. It makes it look really, really neat. I am by no means an expert watercolorer, but isn't it fun that you can do this and not have to be an expert? I think that's pretty amazing. I just wanted it to look like the frosting had movement, and the artwork is so clever that it has already done that. So you can see it's really adding in the layers. And then the other thing is you can use this really fine tip and you can add in a couple of just dots of paint. I'm gonna add maybe one over here. Just like that. We're just building in texture into the image. Okay, the other thing I brought in was some of our basic beige. This is a new neutral for Stampin' Up. And I'm going to color in the cupcake wrapper with that. So just clean my brush and then pick up some beige, and we're gonna add that in. Again, the yellow is fun underneath because it just adds a different tone. It really warms up the beige, which has kind of a cooler undertone. And I like that you can kind of play with the color there. So again, if you want to do layers, you're going to have to dry in between to be able to add layers. Now, here's another thing. I actually better dry because I am going to show you another tip here. Let's just quickly do that. Okay. Now, this is a tip that my pal Diana Gibbs a million years ago shared with me. So you can use my beloved Pool Party, which I consider to be a neutral, the amount I use it. You can use that to create some dimension to your watercolor images. So again, I'm just going to make sure that my brush is nice and clean. I'm really going to dilute this. So like really making it into a light blue puddle. And now with the really fine tip here, you're going to go just up against the outside of the image. And it's really, really soft and subtle, but let me show you what it does. It's so cool how this works. It's like an optical illusion. So we'll just follow along the edge of the cupcake. So what it does is it creates the illusion that it's popping off the page. So you can see, you can barely see the blue, but it like gives dimension to the cupcake. Oh, Gail, you love that. Perfect. Yeah, boy, it makes a difference, hey? It's really, but you need it to be soft. Like you really need to dilute it in order to get the look that you're wanting. You don't want a really dark blue outline because then it looks a bit messy, but this just makes it, I don't know, there's that fun illusion. So the other thing I wanted to share with you is this. So we have some new Christmas paper, and this paper is just beautiful. We'll be using this in my class on Tuesday night. It's one of the things. So you can see there's mistletoe on the back. It's specialty paper, so it has gold embossing in it. And we are going to play with one of the card designs that's in the catalog. I'm going to try not to get my catalog in my ink pile here. So I don't know if you know this, but on page 22, there's all these sketches along the bottom. So if you're struggling to come up with a card design, go to page 22. There's lots of inspiration there. So I was inspired by this one, but I switched it up a little bit. So it was a good jumping off point. So what I did was I cut my paper at 4 3/4 by 1 inch, and I created these strips like that. And then when I bring in the finished card, I'll show you how I added even more texture. So here you can see is my cute little cupcake, and I've added some little drips. And again, with this fine tip, it's easy to just drop, drop, drop. And then I've added in the basic beige stitched ribbon. And also in the background, I used the So Swirly embossing folder, and so created that. It sort of mimics the icing that's there. So that just gives you texture on texture on texture. But I love that the background is all neutral. It's very, very neutral. So it allows the cupcake to sort of come forward for us. Oh, thanks, Gail. I appreciate that. Cool. Okay, we're going to move on to the next project. This is another technique using your ink refills. I'm just going to clean this off. So just like that. Okay, so last week I shared with you a really, really fun technique, and it was a fun fold. And do you ever get that where you've made something and now you're like, I can't stop making that? Okay, well, forgive me because we're making it again. So if you missed it, this is 8 inches by 5.5. And I've scored it at 1 inch, 2 inches, and 5 inches. So we're going to fold it like this. Oh, you know what? I cut the paper wrong. That shouldn't be like that. This should be, that's why you cut it at 8 inches. So just pretend, I could even use my scissors. We're just going to be sloppy here for a sec. You guys are all cringing right now, I know. It's okay. I'll fix it in post. Okay. So now we've got our little pop-up card. And then you have another pop-up feature, and this one I made a little bit wider than I've done in the past to fit the focal image that we're going to work with. So this is 3.5 inches by 8.5 inches, and we're just going to fold this one in half. Okay, did you notice what I just did? In case you're like, why did she do that? If you try to fold cardstock one way and it feels like it's not going to bend very well, you can flip it over and it folded the other way, and it kind of works with the grain a little better. So it's just sort of trying to work with the fibers of the card. Okay. Oh, you know what? I didn't cut this right either. What am I doing here? Okay. We're going to just pretend for a second that I did. So this is supposed to be 8.5. Well, you could make it shorter, I guess. It's supposed to be 8.5 by 3.5. Okay. Oh, wow. I'm bringing in the a really, really cute bundle that's called Tune In. So to me, this has a very vintage look, right? TVs don't really look like that anymore. And it's got that fun kind of like news flash feel to it. So we're going to build a TV set now. So I need to use, I'm going to use Flirty Flamingo. I'm going to use Pumpkin Pie. And Granny Apple Green, and Coastal Cabana. So you can see I've stamped the TV and die cut that, and I also used the coordinating die cut to cut out the centerpiece of the TV. So now I'm going to use a clean baby wipe. This is going to be our coloring tool, and I'm just going to slide this in so I can use the edge of it. Sorry for the lights. I'll do this, and then it blocks some of the lights. Oh, there we go. Okay, so with my glass mat, I'm going to use this as my my coloring tool. And I'm going to start off the edge of the paper, and I'm just going to drag it along. So now we've got the Fleur de Flamingo part. And I'm going to move to another clean piece, pick up the orange, and we're going to drag that along. Okay, then we've got Granny Apple Green. It's probably my favorite green. And then we have Coastal Cabana. And so we have those really bright looking, it looks like the, you know, we will be right back thing. So again, if you use your heat tool and dry this, it'll take a sec. It'll just stamp a little bit cleaner. Okay, and now we're going to bring in the stay tuned for an important message. So with the memento, cute. The font is really fun, hey? Okay. So now we'll stick that onto our TV. Cute. And then we'll bring in our too small piece. You'll see when I show you the finished one. This is gonna work, but it's just not exactly how I planned it. Okay, so we've got this cute little TV. So next I brought in, this is the In Color Glimmer paper, a really, really great addition to your collection. It's got all of our In Colors in 12 by 12 sheets of glitter paper. Now here's the kicker. I put on a piece of our foam adhesive on the back before I die cut it, so that when I pull off the die and I bring out this, now it's created a foam sticker, which makes it so fun. So we're going to stick that on our TV. See, it's a little bit, this is why it would help if it was bigger. That's okay. Then I'm going to bring in my Neutrals adhesive back sequins, and I'm going to use the small circles, and we're going to stick that right over top of the knobs. How many of you had TVs that looked like this? Me, I had a TV that looked like that. And I grew up in the country, so we had like 3 channels and French. So this is going to stay, and we're gonna, yes, last week we stuck it in the middle. This week we're gonna bring it over to the side. Now before I stick it down, I'm going to bring back in my very fun Pocket Thoughts dies. That's the one that coordinates with the cupcake we just used. So it comes with 3 pockets, and the, yeah, right? We all had, those of us of a certain vintage, we had TVs that look like that. So what I've done is, you can go ahead and screenshot this. I've calculated exactly the size of the insert that will fit into those pockets. So yeah, do it now. Screenshot it. Perfect. You can pause it too if you're on the replay. Okay, so I've used my Designer Series paper, and I've cut out the middle pocket, and we're going to fold in the little flaps because they've already scored it for us, which is super handy. Now we're going to use the Terran tape, which is the only tape I'd recommend for this project because it helps it to allow things to slide in and out without it falling apart. Okay, and this one over here. And true to its name, you can just tear it. So now, my dog is literally standing outside of my office door moaning at me. Not Remy. He's sleeping. London. Did you hear that? She really, 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 really loves to suntan. And it's way too hot for dogs to lay out in the sun. So I will let her go outside for 5-minute stretches, and I'll set my alarm and then make her come back in, which makes her mad. Because it's just too hot, and I don't think she knows that it's too hot for her. So anyway, she's a turkey. Okay, so here we've got a little pocket that we're just sticking in that middle flap. And this is going to be hidden by our TV, like that. Now, I also have this because the important message is hidden by our pocket. So let's bring in our happy birthday, and we're going to stamp that here. I think I did it in black on the other one. And then we're going to use this pull tab punch with our Granny Apple Green. So we're working within the colors we pulled from our ink refills. And this, we're just going to use our adhesive. Just advance it a little there. Oh, come on. Okay. So this is going to go, I want it to basically where it curves up. We just want a tiny little tab that's going to stick out of the pocket. So this is going to go in like that. And then this gets adhered both front, so along here, and back, okay? So let me skip to the end and show you what it looks like. So there, see, a little bit taller. And then I just added these fun, so that it kind of draws your attention to this. And then you can pull out the message, happy birthday. So you could also add a gift card to it if you wanted, but you don't have to. But this is just such a fun little moving card. So that's another way you can use that same stair step fancy fold that I taught from last week. Okay, I have one more super exciting thing to show you. This is a little longer video today. Apparently, I was having a lot of fun. Okay, we're going to use the stamp set bundle that's called Simply Sparkling. And again, it's kind of another retro looking style of artwork. And I want to start by bringing in just my basic white, and we're going to use the pop can. Do you call it pop or do you call it soda? In Canada, we call it pop. I know in the US it seems kind of divided. It feels like the people from the Midwest call it pop too. Okay, we're going to stamp our little pop can. And we also have lemons that we can stamp. Oh, I'm not being very careful with my ink. I'm just going to stamp that one more time because we're going to cut them out. Perfect. And then this we'll stamp in the center. Okay. So I am going to use my, where did I put them? I'm going to, here we go. I'm going to use my sponge daubers. How long has it been since you played with sponge daubers, friends? They're fun. Okay, so this whole card, if you have kids at home and you're like, they're driving me crazy, I want to do something fun with them, I want to keep them busy, just get them to stamp a bunch of images and they can use the sponge daubers, which are just fun to use, and they can use that to color. So they stick on your fingers and you can pick up some color, and we're going to start, just kind of take a little bit off, and we're going to start at the bottom and just build our way up. Now there's a little bit of pool party in the bottom of this, which is why it's giving me two tones. Life hack. You don't even have to try hard and you're getting fun techniques. Okay, so we've got best ever. Then I'm going to bring in my smoky slate. same thing. Put it on your finger. It's way more fun that way. And we're going to color in the pop tab like that. And you can see we've got Lemon Lolly. So color in our lemons. And I actually brought the, I don't know where I put it. There was a green marker, but you could either do sponge dauber or you could color it green. So that's step one, okay? And then we're gonna die cut those out. Step two, okay, another super fun thing to do with kids. So this is just a plain old glass container that I filled with regular water, maybe like 2 pumps of dish soap, and about 20 drops of ink refill. So this is the Azure Blue, Azure Afternoon. But I find the darker the colors, the more this technique works. And then I've just got a straw. So now we're gonna take our straw and we're gonna blow into it and create the bubbles. And then we're gonna set our designer series paper, or our, what should we call it? Basic white paper on top. And then you get that look to it. Right? I know, it's so cool. And then as the bubbles pop, it leaves little bubble images on your paper, which is so fun. So you can use watercolor paper, you can use basic paper. If you have shimmery cardstock or glossy cardstock, that works really well. So I know, Roxanne, super crazy. So this is like such a fun way to be able to add some texture to the background using our ink refills. So let me skip to the end and show you our finished card. So here we are. So I've die cut those out, added the greeting. These are the dies from that same collection, and I put the adhesive sheets behind it. So I was able to pull out the little bubbles that filled in the holes, as well as put in the detail there. And you can see here I colored with the marker that I cannot find. Cute, right? Okay, so let me show you one more time. All done with ink refill. So we have our bubble technique. We have our baby wipe coloring technique with our little pull tab. And I don't know what's the best way to display that. And we have our watercoloring technique. So if you're thinking to yourself, Lindsay, why don't I have these products? You need to head to my online store. I'll provide a link so that you can shop easily for the things that I've used. Remember, in the month of July, if your order reaches $60, and for every $60, you're going to receive a $6 coupon to use in August, so don't miss out. You're gonna want that because there's so many fun things coming. And just a reminder that if you love this series and you would like to kind of up the level of Why Did I Buy This, you'll want to join our Why Did I Buy This Maker Club. It's a once a month club. You get a special VIP group and you get maker kits in the mail filled with curated products that are special just for you. And then we show you how to use them. So this is a collaboration with my friend Meg Loven and I. It is so much fun. We have a great crew of people that craft together, and you can do it month to month. So if you just want to try it out for 1 month, maybe you just want to try it out for August, you can sign up just for a month if you'd like. So please go ahead, and I'll again include the link in the comments so that you can go ahead and check that out. I hope you have an amazing weekend, my friend. I'm gonna go pamper my little baby boy after his surgery, and I'm gonna let London go suntan for 5 minutes so she can stop moaning. Okay, friends, have an amazing weekend. Bye for now.